Hello, everyone, and welcome to the PermaSafe webinar. My name is Bill Buff, and we're just going to give you a quick overview of what PermaSafe is all about. We're joined here today with Hugo, one of the head techs with PermaSafe South down at the manufacturing facility in Florida. Hugo, take it away.
Our product, it is really a two-step process, and we like to think of it as a system rather than a chemical. And I prefer it and like you guys to keep that same distinction as well, because it really is a system. And the two chemistries together is really what provides the efficacy and really sets us apart from the competition. And so our both steps are no rinse, no wipe. The total application process will take approximately 15 minutes for both step 1 and step 2. So it is a very fast and convenient process. There's no downtime after application before you deliver it to the customer. Our step 2 needs about 5 to 7 minutes for a covalent bond to be achieved, and we'll get the details about that in a second as well. So that means as soon as you're basically done, you can take it to the customer and deliver it, and it's ready to go. It should be already dry by then, as long as the applicator didn't overspray. And so it's a very fast and easy process. It does have the lowest possible toxicity according to EPA standards, so it is no VOCs. It is generally harmless, and that's obviously critical because you have a very enclosed space that you're applying it in, and obviously, that's pretty important to your customer base as well when you're talking about, obviously the soccer moms that have their kids in the car, their pets in the vehicle. It's pet safe, kid safe. These are all very important marketing claims that are accurate because of the fact that that's the demographic that we are in effect selling to. So when you look at our step 1, it is a hospital grade EPA registered disinfectant. And I'm going to back up for 1 second because in particular today we're talking about antimicrobials, and specifically that doesn't mean much. So when you look at antimicrobials, all that means is it is something that is going to inhibit or kill microbes. Inhibit the growth or kill microbes. And so that's a really broad range of products. It can range from pool chemicals that are there to avoid any sort of staining on the wall, all the way to something you're going to coat an internal pacemaker with before you do internal surgery and to prevent infection. And so, obviously there's a very different application, a very different standard between those two products, but they're both considered antimicrobials. The disinfectant standard, however, is actually a standard, and that does actually have specific meaning. And so any antimicrobial is going to be regulated by the EPA as a pesticide, and that is because it kills a living organism. As such, they have standards that you achieve for different levels within the EPA. So, you're going to start with a cleaner, and ours is an excellent cleaner, by the way, excellent stain remover, and work your way up. The next standard up is a sanitizer. The efficacy needed to become a sanitizer is it has to kill 99.9% of bacteria, so that's a 3-log kill, and specifically against bacteria. You keep going up the tier, up the ladder of efficacy, and next you are looking at a disinfectant. Specifically, ours is a hospital-grade EPA registered disinfectant, so that's the top possible tier as far as disinfectants go as well. In order to achieve that, you have to have a 99.999% kill efficacy against both viruses and bacteria. That's obviously a critical distinction with it being the virus category right now being top of everyone's mind. In addition to that, our step 1 is a heavy-duty odor eliminator. That is also a standard according to EPA parlance. That is the top possible standard you can achieve. It achieves that through oxidation of the source of the smell as opposed to a masking agent. It is also a mildew stat, so it's going to eliminate mold and mildew. It is a fungicide, which is also very important as well. And in addition, that is an anti-allergen, so it's going to eliminate allergens as well as dust mites. The fungicide and mildew stat is a critical thing as well in automotive right now, and you can do a little bit of research on this. It's also in the PowerPoint presentation. But Mercedes-Benz, for example, just settled a huge class action lawsuit to the tune of I think it was 2.5 million vehicles. I'm not sure exactly what the settlement was per vehicle, but as you can imagine, it was quite painful and not something they would have liked to have. This product remediates that through going into the HVAC, getting into the condenser case, or the evaporator case, I'm sorry, and that's where the problem occurs. and it will both eliminate the mold and mildew and then protect against it long-term with the step 2. So that's a pretty critical component of what it does. Once again, 7 minutes, it really prepares the surface for our step 2. Step 2 is our long-term antimicrobial surface protectant. And that is actually specifically a new category of antimicrobial, and that category is surface modifying copolymers. And what that means is that, in effect, when you apply this, it is going to create a new surface, and it accomplishes this. It has these 18-link carbon chains with a nitrogen atom in it. When you spray it on, these little 18-link carbon chains are going to form a covalent bond with the surface. And what it creates is basically a bed of spikes that covers this surface and protects it perpetually from bacteria. So these little positively charged spikes, or spears, if you will, actually will attract negatively charged bacteria even from the air, so it purifies air as well, and it will puncture the cell membrane of this bacteria and then emit a shock to it. So it actually eliminates the bacteria through a physical or a mechanical process. And that's critical because that makes it so that is completely repeatable and can be accomplished over and over again with these same spikes. If you look at a poison, it accomplishes the goal through a process called off-gassing, which is poisoning it. It is a one-time kill when you look at a off-gassing because of the fact that you can't effectively kill the same organism with the same poison twice. When it's a physical or mechanical process, it can be repeatable. Much like a 357 Magnum or a spear, that is capable of killing repeatedly as long as you keep it free of the organism. So basically the same sort of thing with this. You have to wipe down the surface and it will continue to protect that surface perpetually. The only thing that will remove these little carbon links is abrasion or scraping. And so it will actually remain on there perpetually and continue to protect the surface as long as the surface remains intact. So when you combine...
All right, great. Thanks so much for that great information there, Hugo. I'll take it from here. I'm going to show everybody a nice little video here of the technical side of what Hugo was talking about. So stand by just 1 second.
Shield is a unique antimicrobial that provides a barrier of protection that's highly effective and has a safety profile that's unequaled. Here's how it works. The shield forms its protection through 3 functional elements. First, the base layer is a covalent bond that permanently affixes to the surface, enhancing it for the life of the item it's applied to. Second, by cross-linking to the base layer. And lastly, by creating a durable 18-link carbon chain with a positively charged nitrogen atom at its base. This newly formed surface sets up a cationic or positively charged surface that creates 2 lasting benefits. The first is a clean base layer that makes removal of dirt, grime, and other organisms as easy as wiping with water. And second, the matrix of sorts that provide the tool for solid microbe control. This mode of action against mold, mildew, algae, fungus, and other odor-causing bacteria works without harmful chemicals, biocides, or poisons. The positive nitrogen atom magnetically draws microbes to the surface with an attraction strong enough to destroy a microbe by first piercing and then electrocuting the offender. The rapid destruction of odor-causing germs provides for odor control that is not available through traditional chemicals. Traditional antimicrobials work by leaching or off-gassing to deliver a poison for microbial control. These older technologies are narrow in their scope of effectiveness, with some only working on fungus and others on a limited range of bacteria. Some common chemistries even allow for organisms to adapt, thus creating superbugs in our environment. This begs the question of what value using heavy metals, toxins, and pesticides bring when they can allow for unwanted elements to be reintroduced into the environment. Microbes must have a receptive surface to survive. A surface with a shield is completely inhospitable to microbes, effective without poisons. The physical mode of action provided by the shield disallows adaptation and does so safely as well as dependably. The safety science behind this technology has been documented for decades, as its functional elements are effectively sand or silica, wood or carbon, and nitrogen. Finally, a safe and wise choice for microbe control. that is as easy to maintain as wiping with water.
Okay, so we have a little bit more technical video of that point, and we're going to talk on to the next slide a little bit about, again, the growing danger all the way up till 2020, where we now have a pandemic, COVID-19. Again, this product will not kill COVID-19. It will kill the coronavirus. Again, we're registered with the EPA, and we're also on the emerging pathogen policy list as a product to kill coronavirus. But there was a gentleman that a lot of us know for a long time, a very well-known person by the name of Bill Gates. And basically, he was talking about this day coming today back in the late 90s. This was a seminar he did. So let's take a look at that real quick.
When I was a kid, the disaster we worried about most was a nuclear war. That's why we had a barrel like this down in our basement filled with cans of food and water. When the nuclear attack came, we were supposed to go downstairs, hunker down, and eat out of that barrel. Today, the greatest risk of global catastrophe doesn't look like this. Instead, it looks like this. If anything kills over 10 million people in the next few decades, it's most likely to be a highly infectious virus rather than a war. Not missiles, but microbes. Now, part of the reason for this is that we have invested a huge amount in nuclear deterrence, but we've actually invested very little in a system to stop an epidemic.
So again, this is where PermaSafe comes in to help, and they've spent a lot of money, a lot of years in development to grab the EPA registered numbers and also to make the product patented. So how risky is our average ride? The average public toilet seat hosts 80 germs per square inch, while the average steering wheel is home to over 700 germs per square inch. A sick person cough or sneeze can contain as many as 200 million individual virus particles and capable of infecting others up to 10 feet away. So again, we're in a very tight, closed, sealed up vehicle going down the road. So very important to get it treated. We talk about a desk. If you're sitting at your desk right now, the average desk has about 21,000 microbes per square inch. If you were to take your hand and put it on the desk right now, that area that you're covering is probably 7 inches by 7 inches. If you were to now lift your hand up, underneath your hand area, you'd have about 1 million microbes. So a 3-log disinfectant that is 99.9% kill rate effective leaves about 10,000 microbes. But using a 5-log disinfectant, killing 99.999% rate leaves about 100 microbes. So you can see the difference between a 3-log and a 5-log. Pretty big difference. So just recapping everything that we've kind of covered right now, we have a fast and easy install. You can complete the 2-step in as little as 15 minutes. We've had installers doing it in a little as 11, 12 minutes. You don't need an expensive technician or anybody specially trained. Virtually anyone can install PermaSafe. Again, you don't need to wear a mask and a hazmat suit. It's all biodegradable and pretty much chemical free. No lift is required or no special area to have to do it. You can pretty much do it in an area by opening up the doors. We do have an installation video that is available. It's still new to the market due to the pandemic, but we are patented. We have an EPA registered number. Again, we are part of the EPA emerging pathogen policy list. If you want to take any of our EPA numbers and look them up on the CDC, please do so. And again, we're competitor free. Why are we competitor free? Because our product lasts triple, quadruple the amount of times that some of the other products do. Again, if you're in the new car business and we're talking to you as a dealer, we offer warranties up to 7 years for a new car and up to 5 years on a used car. So Please get together with the person that shared this presentation with you, the PermaSafe agent, so that we can get you the appropriate documentation, pricing, whatever you need to keep your customers and vehicles safe. I want to thank you for coming, and I'll end the program right now with a consumer video.
Did you know that on average, we spend about 100 minutes of each day in our cars? That's 100 minutes each day, essentially trapped in the most germ-ridden environment many of us ever encounter. A recent Queen Mary University study found that the average steering wheel is home to more bacteria than a public toilet. Yet today's vehicles are equipped with surfaces and systems that spread far more germs, far more quickly than their steering wheels. Your vehicle's heating and air conditioning system, for example, offers the ideal breeding grounds for harmful bacteria and germs, while its blower and vents provide the perfect delivery mechanism for spreading them. PermaSafe's EPA-approved disinfectant and antimicrobial protection system safely and continuously eliminates over 99% of bacteria, viruses, mold, mildew, and other harmful microorganisms from your vehicle, as well as allergens and odors, without the need for reapplication. Upon application, the patented antimicrobial agent in PermaSafe chemically reacts with and molecularly bonds to the surface to which it is applied, becoming an integral and permanent part of that surface and providing perpetual antimicrobial control through a purely physical or mechanical process without the use of any harmful chemicals. For more information regarding PermaSafe, please see your service representative or ask for a PermaSafe customer brochure.